Okay, y'all, I'm gonna try not to let this be a long video, um, but I'm gonna preface this video with a story. Now, I think I've already told y'all that I'm the youngest in my family, and I'm the most favored. And when you grow up in a large family and you have older brothers and sisters, the oldest sister of the family was kind of like my second mother. You know, she always, in my mother's absence, she was always nurturing and loving. And believe me, y'all, she's a beautiful woman. And she has distinctive characteristics about her. And she's far from ordinary. She was blessed to look exactly like my dad's sister, who died at a young age, who my grandmother would always stare at her when she was younger. Like when she was a young teenager, my grandmother would always stare at her. And she asked my mom, why do grandma stare at me like that? And she said, because you remind her of her daughter that died. Y'all look like twins. And so that was the backstory behind that. But anyway, she's loving, nurturing. She was the kind of sister I could call if I went out of town, in the town that she was living in, and went partying or something like that. I could call her at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was never too late, never too early. And I always had somewhere to lay my head if I couldn't drive back home. Then my other sister, we looked just alike. We look like twins. And we have similar characteristics. We both have a gap in our teeth. Our personalities are similar. She's very opinionated and free thinking, just like I am. Now, we rarely agree because we have our own minds. I don't have to think like you do, but we're always able to get back to a good place. And then you have the monster in the family. Someone that there's nothing special about them. They're just an ordinary person. And at the end of the day, they're just jealous. There's nothing feminine about this monster. She's unattractive. She's the most unattractive female in the family. Apparently, she has issues within her own self. And she brings nothing to the table except having a reputation of being the most mean, the most hateful, the most evil, the most fighting person in the family, the person that keeps up the most chaos. You can ask any grandparent, any brother, any sister, any parent. That's her reputation. And what a reputation for a female to have. Now, actually, she was jealous of the sister that looks just like me, which is older. And she could beat her. She could beat her. Because she was like a big Amazon type, tomboy type person. But at the end of the day, that's all you can bring to the table. So, that's no special feat or special characteristic. You're just an evil monster, hateful monster, mean monster who can fight. And my older sister had no problem reminding her of how evil and vindictive and mean and hateful she is. And for whatever reason coming from her, I guess she would try to change, but she would always go back to the evil monster that she was. And the thing about me is I would see what she would do to the sister, the older sister that looked like just like me. And I never liked it. Even though I was 8 years younger than her. I never liked it. And I never liked her for it. And I also never liked her for the names she called me. But one thing about it, I also called her names. She would call me sissy and punk, and I would call her tomboy, man, looking. You know, anything she had to say, I had something to come back with it. So I'm not going to be your doormat. Even as a little boy, I'm not going to be your doormat. Even though you can beat me, I'm still going to fight back at you. Regardless, you're hateful, you're mean, you're monstrous. I don't like you. I've never liked you. I've tolerated you, but I've never liked you. And I see now that there's truth in everything about you. Firsthand, I find out these things. No one has to tell me about you. I know about you. And your ace boon coon is this half brother of mine who is the black sheep of the family, just like you, the most unattractive, has nothing to bring to the table, ain't nothing special about you. And my dad hated you. And he never apologized for hating you. And he always favored me. And I guess as a result of that, you know, it built up resentment and jealousy in you, which you took out on me, which ultimately showed, you know, how really fond of me you were, because at any opportunity when the parents weren't around, you're trying to get intimate with me. You know? Until I remember, because see, he left home and stayed with my older sister. It's just, things just got so bad. He was the cause of a lot of the problems that went on in that household because he was a bastard child. But anyway, you moved in with my older sister. Then when I became what, maybe 12, I think when I was in junior high school, I would go out down there and spend the night sometimes. And I'll never forget, you know, we're sleeping in the same bed. You're all up on me, trying to do things that you're not supposed to do. And I said no. At that point, I hadn't found enough courage to speak up for myself. And I said, no. You know what you're doing. You'll not sleep. It ends here. And it stopped. So, you know, people have their issues and they try to take their issues out on you. And then they have built up resentment because people treat you one way and they treat them a different way. They see the specialness in you, the uniqueness in you, the extraordinary qualities you have, and they don't have those qualities. So they try to make your life a living hell because you're special, and they're not. That's what the two of them shared in common. They were just ordinary people that nobody favored in any kind of way in the family. They were tolerated. But people always treated me special. And with me being the youngest, there were things the older kids had to do that I didn't have to do. Because I'm the youngest. Older kids have more responsibilities. There's more responsibilities put on older kids than there are younger kids. As those kids get older, yes, more responsibilities are put on them by their parents. But they aren't going to put responsibilities on the younger kids that are expected of the older kids. And psychopaths look at that as, preferential treatment. That's the mind of a psychopath. And believe me, y'all, monsters exist. They do. And ultimately, they're just jealous of you. They're fond of you. They want you to love them and admire them. But at the same time, they're unlovable. There's nothing about them to love because they've shown you that. So I just want to preface that with that. But, monsters exist. Psychopaths exist. And the thing about them, they're very cunning and manipulative. Because the sister of mine, she would beat me up all the time. She would make me do all, like in the summers, she would make me do all the chores and stuff that she was responsible for doing. And there were days I would just leave home. And she would chase me down the road for a mile, running after me. Barefooted in the summer. I would run to somebody else's house to get away from her. That's what a monster she was. And then she would go in there, and then she would flip this switch and become a normal person then and lie. Oh, mama says time to come back to the house, even though mama ain't even at home. But the people would believe her. Then when we would get out of sight of them, that switch would flip right back to the monster that you are. But the thing is, when I got old enough, I was determined to beat her ass. I was determined to start a fight and beat your ass. And instead of taking your ass whooping, you draw the gun on me. Whoop-de-doo, good for you. You're the victim. See, they're good at playing victim. They're good at lying and manipulating people. Everything around them, they lie and manipulate. They're cunning. I know this firsthand because I've witnessed it and experienced it with my own eyes, my own ears. I know how they operate. That's why I can see through a lot of what people do on here. They fool a lot of other people, but they don't fool me. Because I know what people are capable of. And some people are just evil. But she did get her ass whooped. Because she was a crackhead. And she went in my bedroom using my phone, which I had my own line. And she knew I did not want her in my room, around my credit cards, around my laptop, around my, me running my business, any of that. But see, they feel like they can do whatever they want to do. And when I got home, I hit redial on my phone, and I realized I've never dialed a number that dials numbers like this. And I knew she had been in there in my room on my phone. And your crackheads aren't allowed where I conduct business. They're not. So I confronted her and I beat her ass. My mom and my stepdad had to pull me off of her. I could have killed her, but I'm not a murderer. But she got her ass whooped. But I ended up catching a charge behind it. Nothing happened to her when she pulled a gun on me. Nothing happened to her but all these years and years of lying and manipulating and cunning and fighting and beating my ass. Nobody did anything to her because she lied her way out of all of it. But best believe her husband stalked her ass. to the point where she's at her grandmother's talking about crying. "Ooh, my husband treat me so bad." See, they play victim. They're psychopaths. They're cunning and manipulative, and they lie their way out of anything. So I preface that to lead up to this. That's what Zillionaire is. That's how I can identify him. I knew he was a psychopath the moment I did a video on him over a year ago. How he responded. The vulgar things he sent me. In the comments and the emails. All the vulgar things. Do I feel sorry for the fact that right now, what he has been doing to Kanika Jenkins, platform after platform after platform, doing video after video after video to get clicks and views and subs after clicks and views and subs after clicks and views and subs to get where he is today, only to get on his platform and say, "Oh, this punk this or that punk that, or whoever's jealous of me of this or jealous of me of that." Do I feel sorry that anybody else over here is using his life to build up their platform and make money off of his ass the same way that he's been doing off of Kanika Jenkins for years now? No. But yet he gets on his platform and he manipulates his audience day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month after month, platform after platform after platform, all to get what he wants. Everything he does is self-serving. Well, I'm not going to comment on this part. I'm going to leave it up here and let you guys read it for yourself and form your own opinion about it. I'm going to enlarge it so you can see it a little bit better. And you decide for your own self. This is him. At the top is offense number 1. Below that is offense number 2. Below that is offense number 3. Now, I do want to say that there's this woman, this despicable, horrible woman, that made a video defending him. But yet, the same woman, there's allegations of her snatching up kids. Now, I liken that to my monster half-brother being just like my monster sister, teaming up together, defending each other, telling lies to cover up each other. Zillionaire is no better than this woman, and this woman is no better than him. They're cut from the same cloth. These people are some of the grungiest people, some of the most psychopathic and manipulative and cunning people that walk the earth. And they attract each other. They go out of their way to defend one another. It's all a manipulation. She does the same thing he does. Builds up her platform off of Kanika Jenkins. Everything she does is based around Kanika Jenkins. And getting money from people that she manipulates. These are sick people. They're twisted people. They're monsters, is what they are. Their behavior shows you that. I don't know if y'all have had a chance to read over this or not, but anyway, that's one. Let's go to the next page. There's only 3 pages here. So, you know, these people, these psychopaths, they stick together. They go out of their way to defend each other. Do I believe there's any truth to her snatching up kids? Of course I do. Do I believe there's any truth to these allegations and accusations around Zillionaire Entertainment? Of course I do. Regardless of how many lies he gets on his platform and says, or how many words of pump and fad come out of his mouth, it does not change what's here in front of your eyes. It doesn't change any of that. Sex arousal with a child. Victim's age 14, 12. Let's see if there's another age on here of the other one. 14 and 12. So these people were in puberty. Yeah, two 12-year-olds and a 14-year-old. Do I believe that heifer? That despicable heifer? That cunning psychopath that stepped up to manipulate her audience to defend him? Do I believe that there's truth in the allegations about her? Of course I do. I believe there is truth to that. I believe she has snatched up kids. Don't put nothing past nobody. Put nothing past these people. It's all a manipulation. They're very cunning. They have psychopathic tendencies. A lot of them are sick and twisted, but they're so quick to point the finger at you. Because even this despicable woman, she has the nerve to spit out of her mouth, talking about gay people. But yet your ass is snatching up kids. See, they like to divert the attention away from them and the psychopaths that they are. That's why everything they do is about calling somebody else this or saying somebody else is lying about that. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they manipulate, they're cunning. They're monsters, they're psychopaths. I grew up around them. I know how they operate. And they'll step up to defend one another. All to cover up the things that they are doing, which is the exact same thing. They're both doing the exact same thing. And have been doing the exact same thing and will continue to do the exact same thing. Scamming people out of their money, lying, cheating, and stealing. Getting anything that they've ever gotten off the back of Kanika Jenkins. And they'll step up to defend what they do. You form your own opinion about them. It's right in front of your face. I feel sorry for none of them. People like this, I don't feel sorry for. I know what they are. I know what they're capable of. I see what they do. They make you think they're one thing, but they're actually something else. And believe me, y'all, she is a horrible, despicable woman. I'm talking about the one on here that's accused of snatching up kids. If you went outside and stepped in dog crap underneath of your foot, that would be, I would hold that at a higher standard than I would of that filth over there. Lying, cheating, and stealing. That's why they always have bad luck. That's why her ass tells all kind of lies to get people's money. And then, once she get it, she'll turn around and drag the person that gave her the money. And instead of giving them their money back, they'll never do that because they need it. They can't get by without it. They sit around and smoke blunts all day, have all these people that are just like them listening to them and rallying them on. And they think it's acceptable because they have hundreds of people supporting them that are just like them. Zillionaire's no different. Because he's got all these subscribers now. He's gotten his channel back. He built it right back up off of Kanika Jenkins and Kobe Bryant. And believe me, y'all, anybody else he can exploit for clicks and views and subs, he'll do it. But at the end of the day, he'll never be able to live down who he really is. They're cunning and manipulative, and they lie. They manipulate people. And they're the first people to step up and defend other people that are doing the exact same things that they're doing. Psychopaths defend other psychopaths. Monsters defend other monsters. And their audiences are comprised of the same type of people that they are. Their audiences are cut from the same cloth that they're cut from. The information's in front of you, you know. You decide for yourself. You think for yourself. I don't tell anybody on here what to think. I only tell my experiences and how what I see applies to me and my experiences. But you can't make this stuff up. Call me as many punks as you want, or try to brainwash all your followers against gay people all you want. I wouldn't have anything to do with you or your followers. You all are cut from the same cloth. And may you all drown in your misery and bad luck and karma that you can't escape. And meanwhile, I'll be at peace and tranquility, receiving my blessings and the good people that God sent to my life. People that will have nothing to do with people like y'all. People that wouldn't give people like y'all the time of day. But they see the special gifts in people like me. And they gravitate toward me. And they bring substance to my life, and I bring substance to theirs. And satisfaction and joy and intimacy. All those good things. And all of you monsters and psychopaths will continue to deal with the karma and be tainted by the truth of what y'all really are. Snatching up kids, doing things to kids, doing indecent things to kids, and getting on here lying, cheating, and stealing and manipulating people about it. All for coins. Scams. Con artists. Psychopaths. Monsters. They exist, y'all. These people exist. They're all over YouTube. I don't want people like that on my channel. I want to have nothing to do with them. Stay over where you are. And may these people take all the money that y'all have. And may the karma that they are experiencing eventually work its way down to y'all. But yeah, there's truth. Usually there is truth in accusations and allegations about people. Psychopaths defend psychopaths, and they attract people like them. That's what they do. They're cunning and manipulative. Never forget that. And YouTube is swarming with them. Like flies on shit.